Alright. Good evening, everyone. Hi. How you doing? I've had a heck of a day. Just a series of unfortunate events. So I'm looking to get a little positivity by finally finishing the Blackwell anthology tonight. I don't know how much time we have left for this game, but hey, we'll see, right? We will see. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see how all this ends. I mean, it's been a long road. Like, this is what, episode 13, I think? Question mark? Hold on, let's see. Let's look it up real quick. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, 11 episodes. At like 2.5 to 3 hours a pop? Like, that's pretty long for an adventure game series, you know? So, I'm excited to see how all this resolves. And depending on how time goes, I have a second spooky game to play. Hopefully. Anyways. Just double checking something real quick. I happened to mention on Twitter, or I mentioned at on Twitter, David Gilbert, who's the kind of creator of all these games. I was going to be finishing the game off tonight. I was kind of fingers crossed that he would grace us with his presence, but I have no idea if that's going to happen or not. That's okay. I'm sure he's heard many people talk about his game at this point. I don't think he needs my commentary to throw into the pile, but we'll see. We'll see. Things could happen. In any case, let's just start the dang thing, shall we? Alright. He says unable to... There we go. Good old focus. Good old focus. Okay. I almost don't want to finish this. I've been playing this game for... yeah, I think just Heather solved. I've been playing this series for so long, it's gonna be weird to, like, finish it. Now, what the hell was I doing? Alright, okay, so we had just fixed the Tanya Heather. We solved that. Now we've got to go solve the Peter puzzle. Peter puzzle. That's just some fun alliteration. It feels like you started this last week. I didn't actually. This is episode 3 of the Epiphany. This is installment number 3. Okay, so as I recall, this series. Well, what's 11 weeks is like almost 3 months, which puts us at what? The 3rd day of March break? Is that where we are now? I tell you, this March has been the longest March ever. Okay, we need to go back to the house. Right? Like there's nothing at the gym. We've literally clicked on everything in the gym, so there must be something in the house we didn't see. So, Joey, do your thing. Why does he have to go through the door? You can just walk through the wall, like he doesn't have to
I can't smell them, but even I can tell those flowers are fake.
Oh, what's up with my audio? Okay, that's fine. Alright. Pizza box.
Ugh.
Papers. What's papers, Precious? Oh, here we go. This is new. As your probation officer, I am bound to report your absence from our meetings to the proper authorities. I understand your desire to get your head together after the events of the Carth House, but I'm afraid I must follow formal process. Your next appointment is blah. If you attend this and every subsequent meeting promptly and in proper spirit, I can have your absence from the previous appointments excused. Carol Nowak. Okay. Cool. Well, it's papers, so let's push
I'm
papers.
not just gonna blow on everything I see.
Fine. Woman. Filth.
After seeing the...
Woman.
She looks like she stopped caring about anything years ago.
What a weirdly judgy thing for him to say. Oh, what's this? Peter Felding Gold member. Why does Peter Felding need a membership card? There's a thing with the calendar at the gym. There is, yes. When was the date for this? The 10th. Okay. Okay. Push card. Ah. Ahaha.
No good. The rug's too thick.
Well, shit.
The tie...
Only works on spooks. Already.
That won't do. I don't have lungs. No good.
Okay, fine.
She's just standing.
Okay.
I probably...
Coming.
You again? What is it this time?
I wanna... What?
You know what? You know what?
God damn it!
I'll just wait until... She shivered a bit, but no other reaction.
Okay. Let's try not knocking over my wine, because that's the kind of evening it's been. Oh, that's the kind of day it's been. That's the kind of week, actually, it's been, if we're being totally honest. Okay. L, M, 6, 7, R, 3, 9. Let's see if we can oogle that. Oh wait, hold on. After the events of Carth House. Hold on. We know a thing about that, right?
Huh, we've got a match.
Aha.
It seems that one of the Carth House squatters was a relative of Peter's. A sister, Maggie Fielding. According to her case file, she was picked up in the raid. She was brought in for an emergency detox and forced into rehab.
Cool. Okay. Well, let's look up the other case that I definitely should not be able to find any Google results for. Okay, good. I would have been a bit upset by that. Peebles! Listen, even if I did have anything to do with it, which I didn't, you have zero evidence to support anything you claim, so I'll make a deal. I'll go on with my life, and you go on with yours. How about that? By the way, if you show up near our office again, I'll have you arrested. Who the hell is Peebles? I legitimately do not remember Peebles. Who the hell was Peebles? Peebles. He was the guy who saw a prostitute 20 years ago. Oh, thank you. Yes. Jesus. You have 1 week and just nothing.
Hey, this is Peter.
Okay. Alright, knock on door.
Ugh, coming. You again? What is it?
You're
Maggie?
Peter's sister. Maggie, right?
Sure, fine, you got me.
Why couldn't you just tell me that before?
Because I'm trying to get healthy.
Let's
Working
be
through
honest,
the
it is
program.
absolutely none of your
I
fucking
have a
business.
problem, just like my sponsor says. All that is the first step. I'm still working on the rest. Talking about Peter, that's step 5. I'm not ready. It's nothing personal. I just need to avoid thinking about him for a while.
And you're doing that by living in his apartment.
It's just temporary. I have nowhere else to go. And besides, what difference does it make? He's gone. He had a stupid accident, and now he's gone.
That's just it, Maggie. It might not have been an accident.
Da-da-da.
No. Whatever you're thinking, no. I need this to be over, you understand?
Then we need to talk. You can call your sponsor if you want to.
Screw my sponsor. Let's do this.
Don't you know your sponsor?
So, talk.
Alright.
What do you know about Peter's death?
Just what I was told. That he was fixing a light bulb and fell off the ladder. I remember
God,
thinking
what a way
it was
to go.
a pretty stupid way to go, especially for him.
How do you mean?
Did you know the guy? He was obsessed with health. To die just falling off a ladder? I always thought he'd outlive the world.
Okay.
Why is Peter such a sore subject with you?
That's between me and him, or his ghost.
Cough, cough.
Whatever.
It might help to talk about it.
I'm still working through the program. Talking about it is step number 5. I'm not ready for it yet.
Alright.
Could you tell me about your father? He opened the gym, right?
Sure.
Could you tell me anything else about him?
If you want to know about him, you'll have to ask him yourself.
He's still
Here's his
alive?
address. He's always home.
What? I'm gonna be honest, I didn't
Can't you
expect
tell
that.
me anything about your father?
I told you. Ask him yourself.
Don't have a good relationship with Papa, huh?
So, what are you watching?
I don't know. Some animated thing. Not normally into cartoons, but the ratings say it's good.
Is it?
I guess. They changed the main character's voice after the first episode, but it's not bad. Keeps my mind off, well, the stuff you keep bringing up.
Awkward.
Could you excuse me for just...
Sure,
Thanks.
Smooth.
Tell me about yourself.
Opening up is step number 5.
No, it's not.
I'm
Step number
nowhere
5
near
is talking
ready.
about your brother.
How long was Peter working at the gym?
About 20 years? Never thought he'd do it.
Why?
Don't know. He seemed to drift around for a long time. He was a teacher, waiter, construction worker, you name it. Then one day,
One
he
does not
decides
oops
that
into
taking
teaching.
over Dad's gym is what he has to do. Now the gym is a neighborhood staple. Made it more popular than Dad ever did. Good for him, I guess.
Have you ever heard the name Benjiro?
Benjiro? No.
Can you just be a teacher? No. Not in the legal sense of the definition of teacher. No, you gotta go to like school and stuff. It's a whole thing. I would know, my wife did it.
Have you ever heard of the Grace Group?
What, those circle jerk meetings my brother went to?
You know about it.
Nice.
Yeah, I know about it. Peter was a mess before he joined that group. If you ask him, he would say it helped him find himself.
Did it?
Who knows? I thought it was a cult. Might have been better if it was.
Why's that?
Look, never mind. Peter found himself. Good for him. I just have to focus on myself.
Okay.
Do you know a Father Michael Cooper?
Look, I don't need to be saved. I just need to get healthy.
I'm not asking you to see him. I'm
Just
asking
need to
you
get
know-
healthy.
Oh.
Side eyes all the
No, I
gross
don't know
pizza
him.
boxes.
Well,
Alright.
Sure.
Alright, let's go bug dad.
Wait. This is Greenwood Cemetery.
That's very good.
Have some respect, sweetheart. The dead got enough problems without you trampling all over them.
Sorry.
Oh, that's very good.
This tombstone is faded and hard to read.
Alright. Connor Lawrence Fielding, husband, soldier, father.
The exit isn't far.
Is there something I can actually learn from this? It's convenient as one of 2 tombstones here. True. Okay.
The cemetery has dozens of... There are a lot of families. It's a little struck.
Okay. Well, okay. We've got a key, and we've got some information about Dear Papa, so we can do this now. Shiny card into card reader. This gonna be Pops?
There we go. Nobody can say I don't do anything nice.
I assume this is gonna be, yeah. Dear old Papa. Okay, let's write down his number and see if anything comes up on it. 070234541. Okay. Alright, let's Google that. Alright.
It's a calendar with personal training. It's just a number on the calendar. It's just a number.
It's just a number. It's the only one circled, but you know. Oh. Oh. The 10th. I know the 10th is a number that matters.
The men's locker room. It's the ladies' locker.
Uh-huh. Hey, Peter?
Hey man, what can...
I heard about your old man. I'm sorry.
It was over 20 years ago. We all have to.
That's my plan, Peter. Say, can we reschedule that?
Sure, we can. Hey, miss, you're dripping water on the floor.
Oh, sorry.
No problem, just be sure to put on sneakers or something if you want to work out. Anyway, let's check the schedule. How about Wednesday at 2:30?
Sure, sounds good.
Great, see you then. Pace yourself, Lisbeth. This isn't a race.
What am I supposed to do here? Okay, you know, let's go back to the grave. We're just gonna write down dates and we're gonna see what sticks. So we've got 6, 12, 32 to 3, 18, 93. Okay. So those dates don't mean nothing to me. And then check the fielding. I'm currently Joey. Investigate papers. The first 10, 2014. Yeah, so like that's the only one that's in January. And I picked that day. In we go.
A calendar.
I've done circled the 10th. January or Sunday, no, that was a Tuesday. Do I have to like circle the 11th to get him to not? Like, is that actually what I have to do? I have to like do I have to circle the other day?
Hey, why don't you get in here?
Okay, we're just gonna skip that door
Probably
animation.
shouldn't.
So
It's
what
just
if I do this? We'll switch to Joey.
Hey, Peter?
Hey, man.
Say, true.
Seriously, miss, you can't work out wearing that.
Oh, I'm not here to.
Just be careful. I don't want that coat getting caught on any of the machines. Anyway, let's check the schedule. I think we can do Tuesday at 3 p.m.
Sure, sounds good.
Great. see
Okay,
you then.
that's
Pace yourself.
good.
mister. This isn't a race.
the Tuesday would be the 10th then. Right? Why am I feeling this has got some video game logic in it? Hold on a second. Is there a chance I need to talk to Elizabeth? You know what? Sure. Let's talk to Elizabeth.
She looks pretty.
No.
The month is written at the top.
Oh.
The month is.
Can I... Oh! Oh, okay. January, February, March. Okay, let's try Dad's death day. Right? That's the only other significant date. Because I guess you wouldn't know about her meeting, so that tracks. So yeah, let's remind him of your old pops. Right? Jesus. That was not super obvious. Okay.
Hey, Peter?
Okay.
Hey,
we're,
man,
we're doing
what can I
okay.
do for you?
Say, true.
Yeah, let's look at the calendar and make you sad.
Do you see that lady? She's still here. What's with her?
Been asking myself the same question.
Anyway, let's check the schedule. Huh? Is that the date? Hey, listen, I'm sorry, but there's an appointment I've got to keep. Can we sort this out another day?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks.
And away you go! Alright. We did it. Okay, is he gonna be here? Hey, Bubs.
Looks to be in his 50s. It's yeah.
Buddy?
Hey,
Oh, hey, look,
sure.
Oh. Okay.
Excuse me.
Hey, look, I really want to be left alone right now.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so I think this is stuck for now. So the only other real thing we have is Maggie. What do we know about Maggie? She's on parole, right? And she's been skipping out her meetings. Cop shop? Yeah, I think dear old dad actually departed, so... Okay. One else fails, let's try the cop shop.
Officer Palmer?
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Do you have any information on a Maggie Fielding?
Let me check. Maggie Fielding. Yeah, she was picked up in a raid not too long ago.
A raid?
A drug den in Chelsea. Some dump called the Carth House.
I know it.
Huh. Of course you do.
Anything else?
Judgy.
Just that she and about a dozen others were sent to the hospital for a detox. They were processed and let go.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, what about
Is there anything in the
Dad?
system about a Connor Fielding? He died about 20 years ago.
Let's see. Our records from back then are a bit spotty, but can't hurt to check.
Hold on, 20 years ago. That's only 1994. How are your records so
Comes up,
spotty?
But it's a very common name. Is there anything specific you can tell me about him?
He was in the Army.
Oh. Then there might be something in the Veterans Association records.
Which you should
Aren't
not have
those
access
public?
to like that.
Not everything. But fortunately for you, I can access everything.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Okay. Archived records. Connor Fielding. Ah, seriously?
What's wrong?
Idiots. They had no idea how to archive data back then. I can only look them up by service number. You don't know it, do you?
I do
I
actually.
do.
It's 070-234-541.
Well, that's handy. Let's see.
I really thought I was going to have to at
Okay,
least pick
here
that
we
out
go.
of a list.
Connor Fielding. Served in Vietnam from 1966 till 1969.
Nice.
Honorably discharged. Moved with his family to New York a few years later. Huh. That's interesting.
What?
It says here that the police were called to his apartment several times. Reports of raised voices. Possible domestic abuse.
Not
No
shocking.
charges were pressed, which is why it wasn't in our police records.
But it's in the military database?
Word gets around. Someone must have noted it in his VA file. Doesn't say much else.
Huh. Okay. We've asked him about all the other stuff.
Well, I...
Okay. Let's go talk to Maggie about Shitty Dad.
Ugh, coming. Oh, sure, come on in.
So your father is dead.
Yep.
Why didn't you just say that instead of sending me to the cemetery?
The only person to visit Dad was Peter, and he can't do that anymore. I figured Dad could use the company.
Really?
No, not really. I told you, there are things I can't talk about yet.
Well, let's just skip to step 5, huh?
You said Peter visited the cemetery.
Once a year, on the anniversary of Dad's death. Peter was a damn saint.
I learned a bit about your father.
You did?
The police were called several times to his house. No charges were made. It's not hard to read between the lines.
Huh. Well, I suppose you know everything now.
I don't, but I'm trying to.
Why? Why do you care so much? What does my father beating the crap out of my mother have to do with how Peter died?
I have my reasons.
So do I. There's a reason why I can't talk about this. I've been trying to forget this crap my whole life, and now I have a chance. I'm not going back to that. I'm sorry. I know you think you have good reasons, but I really need to be alone right now.
Listen.
Please, leave.
Okay.
You have such a way with people.
Are you
Says the
still
creepy
here?
pervert guy.
Just leaving. Where are you going?
To visit my precious father. Not that it's any of your business. My neighbors are kind of twitchy. You'd better get out of here before someone calls the cops.
Alright. Well, I guess back to this now.
I shouldn't talk to go. This place is spooky.
What about Joey? Can Joey talk to Spook?
Hey,
Oh,
sure.
Alright, nope. All the same dialogue. Alright.
Maggie.
huh?
Huh. I had a feeling you'd follow me here.
I didn't follow you. You got here after I did.
You're not gonna leave me alone, are you?
You know I try and help you whenever I can.
Not until I spill everything.
I've never pressured you to talk to me, Maggie, although God knows maybe I should have.
I'm sorry, but it's important.
Maybe it's because I'm out of that stuffy apartment. Maybe it's because when I'm here, I know he's really gone.
I know. I miss him too.
Talking about it. The fifth step.
What was steps
My
2 through
sponsor said
4?
I didn't have to do them in order. Many people don't.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
fine.
guess now is good a time as any.
I'd like that, Maggie. I really would.
So,
Would you?
Tell me about your father.
not about him. Not really. It's all wrapped up with Peter. It's always Peter.
What are you talking about?
What did Peter do?
Nothing. Everything.
Maggie, what are you talking about?
He took over my dad's gym, made it successful. I hated him for it.
Wait, what? Don't you remember how miserable I was? Drifting from job to job, hating all of them. Running Dad's gym was something I was good at. I thought you'd be happy for me.
Didn't Peter have lots of jobs he hated before he started working at the gym? Couldn't you be happy for him?
Happy? Happy that he took my father's name and made it revered?
I don't see the problem here.
The people in the neighborhood love that gym. They come by and say what a nice old man Connor Fielding was, and what a shame he died, and how nice that his son took up his legacy. Legacy. A legacy of bruises and hiding in the dark.
Bruises? What are you talking about?
You always believed her when she said she was clumsy. It was like some horrible after-school special.
Maggie, you're not saying what I think you're saying.
You never knew, did you, Peter? So wrapped up in yourself. You never saw what he was doing.
Why didn't you ever tell me?
Mom hid it from both of us, and I was too scared to say anything. In the end, it was just easier to say nothing and hate you. And now it's too late. For what it's worth, I don't hate you anymore, Peter. But I need to get on with my life. Goodbye, brother.
Goodbye? What do you mean goodbye?
The surprise, the reveal, the third
Sorry, I should go.
tombstone.
Maggie, wait! Maggie! I never knew! I swear, I never knew! I just don't understand. Huh? My God.
I'm sorry, Peter.
I remember. The ladder. It broke. Oh man. I don't feel so good.
Right. We don't have a lot of time. Peter, I need you to grab a hold of this.
What the heck is that thing?
No time. Just grab.
Ah.
Well, that was close.
Did it work?
Let's get back and find out.
This whole story.
No time,
is
just grab.
It's
The
all
title
true,
of my sex
Peter.
tape?
Can't you feel it? Like something is trying to pull you away.
I thought it was just indigestion, but I've never had indigestion in my life. Figures I'd get it when I'm dead.
Madeline, have you had time to examine them?
I think... yes.
Madeline?
Yes, apologies. I believe I have all the information I
I'm
need.
still waiting for her to heel turn.
Huh? Madeline?
Ugh,
Oh, good. Here we
I
go.
don't feel so good.
This can't be right. Michael, what's going on?
Madeline!
Apologies, my host.
Madeline, what just happened?
That felt quite pleasant.
Madeline? Madeline? Hey!
You, Malone, stay back. You as well, Blackwell. I have absorbed enough energy to burn that precious body of yours to a cinder.
Why?
Why do my cats
do
always
this?
find the squeaky toy?
Have you ever heard of the concept, the journey of the soul?
What?
It is said that every soul has a predestined fate or destiny, and the goal of every soul is to find it. But it is also said that the joy comes from the journey, not the destination. Have you ever wondered where you would be now without the Grace Group? Without the epiphanies that were pushed into your brains as if by magic? Maybe you would have all found your way, maybe not. But you skipped the journey, went right to the destination. It made your souls happy for certain, but it also made them weak, pliable, controllable by someone like me. And now, if you'll excuse me, I am still very hungry.
Oh dear.
No!
I'm not sure, chat, but I think she might be the bad guy.
You. This whole time it was you?
Indirectly. I knew these souls existed, I just needed to collect them. I could not collect my host until last, because my existence here was tied to him. As for Fielding and Goffstein, they were sleeping spirits. They needed to be awakened, something only you could do. So, thank you for that.
Why?
What the hell are you doing this for? I pulled you out of the dark. You were free. Why mess that up?
Free. You, of all souls, tell me that I'm free. I am dead. For centuries, I have been dead. I was a good spirit guide. I did my duty. And yet, did I ever move on? Did I receive any reward? No. I was passed on from host to host, saving spirit after spirit. It became tiresome. Then my last host banished me. I remained there, in the void, alone.
This is pretty fucked up.
forgotten
Yeah, huh?
by the universe, until you brought me out.
Yeah, well, we all make mistakes.
But I was still not free. To fully free myself, I needed power, energy. These souls, these poor, misguided souls, were the nearest source I could find.
You need to fix this.
Fix this.
Yes, you can still make this right. Just undo it, please. Bring them back. I'll bring them through the light and we'll just pretend this never happened.
I am sorry. I have not come this far only to turn back now.
Collect? What do you mean by that?
Perhaps that word is not sufficient. Possibly consume, ingest, absorb. I took their energy as part of my own.
And what do you need energy for? What on earth could be worth all this?
Allow me to demonstrate.
Hey!
What the hell are you doing? Ah! Red, you okay? Come on, darling, say something.
Interesting. I wondered if I would have to relearn how to breathe or walk, but it all comes quite naturally, like putting on a tailored glove.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Madeline.
Hello, Malone. Seeing you with these eyes is different. Of course, it might be the spectacles, cumbersome things.
I'll show you cumbersome. How about a punch in the face?
Malone, there is no need for this hostility.
No need. You lied to us from day one.
I apologize for the ruse. I admit I have not been completely forthcoming.
No kidding.
Come now, Malone. Nothing has changed. I won't shirk the duty. I have no choice. We will continue to save lost souls. Performing it from this end could be refreshing.
I'm gonna fix this.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
I work with Red, not with you.
You can think of me as her, if it will help.
Like hell.
Sadly, you have no choice.
Red, fight her. Whatever she's doing, fight her.
She cannot. If her predecessors could not win against me, then she has no hope. Not with the power I now possess.
Predecessors? What are you talking about?
This is not the first time I have attempted this. In the void, I could only reach certain minds, the minds of other bestowers.
Other bestowers?
Uh-oh.
You mean...
The other Blackwell women, yes. But I was too weak, and so were they. I could only control their minds for a few minutes before they broke.
Broke?
I did not expect that would happen, but some good did come of it. I eventually learned the proper approach, and finally I have succeeded.
You're insane. I mean it, Madeline, a stark, raving lunatic. Do you have any idea what you've done?
You dare condemn me, little ghost? Allow a few centuries to pass. Wait until you've been left abandoned in the dark, adrift, terrified. Then you can pass judgment. But until then, I must get to the business of living.
Stay here. We're not done talking. I said stay here. Ah! Hey! Now cut that out.
Do try and keep up.
Hey,
Yes, Malone.
now what?
I will simply live. I will grow old and I will die, like any other soul.
Dude, that's
And
really
when that happens,
short-sightedness.
perhaps I will move on as intended. It is a slim hope, but after centuries of existence, it
Okay,
is the best
so
I
you've
have.
at least thought that it may not work.
You killed Lauren and Patricia.
I did not. I admit, their mind's rejection of me had unintentional consequences, but there was no malice intended.
Well, that's just Jake, as long as there was no malice. I'm gonna fix this, one way or another.
You honestly believe that?
This might seem strange to you, but yeah. I've always known I was here for a reason. And maybe this is it. To fix what spooks like you screw up.
That is amusing.
Amusing?
Yes. You honestly don't know. No. No, of course you don't.
Of course I don't know what.
You think you are so special? You think you were, what? Chosen? You were nothing important, Malone. You were merely the last.
The last what?
The last spirit we saved, before I was banished. I could not continue the duty, so it was passed on to you.
Huh.
What the hell do you mean I was the last spirit you saved?
Honestly, did you think you were different from any other lost soul? The confusion, the fear they all felt, that you felt. It is no wonder you have forgotten.
Doesn't matter. That was then. This is now. And right now, I plan on fixing this. Why are you pacing around?
No reason. I am just enjoying the sensation. It has been a long time since I have felt snow on my face.
That's not your face.
True, I suppose, but no matter. I am still enjoying it.
You can't go any further, can you?
Whatever do you mean?
You're stuck. You're tied to Michael. Trying to escape it is like hitting a brick wall.
It is a temporary setback, nothing more.
What are you
You're
gonna do?
tethered to
lug
his
Michael's
body?
around in a wheelbarrow? I'd like to see that.
Don't be absurd. You know as well as I do. I am bound to his corporeal form for a few days. After that, I will be free.
Oh, you get to enjoy hunger and starvation, huh?
Ha! Some master plan. All this planning, all this death, and you can't even cross the street.
Only for a day or two. I can wait. I have infinite patience.
Yeah, but does your stomach? You're gonna get hungry.
Any problem has a solution.
What about going to the bathroom? Red drank a lot of coffee.
Perhaps burning Michael's body to ashes, or some kind of cleansing ritual.
Here's an idea. Take a powder. Just leave us the hell alone.
Will you let me think?
I can't wait for the cops to show up. A dead priest, a you just around the corner. Bet you never expected to come back to life only to spend it in jail.
Will you be quiet? Honestly, why you haven't driven your host completely mad is beyond me.
Maybe you didn't mean to kill Lauren and Patricia, but you did kill George Austin.
As a spirit, I hardly think so.
Bull, you're the only one with any motive. I don't know how, but it was you.
Poor Cooper. A weakened soul is such a sad thing. And his mind was so easily controlled. Why, in such a state, he could be told to do anything. Anything at all. And he would do it, with no memory of it. Well, perhaps some residual guilt remained. He has gotten quite agitated since it happened. Fortunately, that is no longer relevant.
Well, so you got the priests to do it. That's fun. Okay, let's try something obvious here.
Ugh.
What are you doing?
You know, Red and I have a bond. We gotta stick together. Where she goes, I go. You might be wearing Red's body, but you ain't her. There's a line in the snow, and you can't cross it. But Rosa Blackwell, she can cross it just fine.
You're hurting me.
Good.
Dang, buddy.
Idiot! Do you have any idea what you just did?
I just evicted you, sister.
No. No, I will not be trapped in that limbo again.
Tough. You made this mess, now clean it up.
Very well. Just remember, you brought this on yourself.
Red? Red, talk to me.
Joey?
You okay? Careful.
I feel...
You!
Great, like a bad penny.
Dispatch reported a woman ranting to herself in front of a church. I had a feeling it was...
Shouldn't you be on the front
Care to
desk?
explain the dead body around the corner?
Corey?
That's Officer Palmer. Now, explain.
No.
Miss Blackwell, I've been patient and cooperative so far.
No.
Uh-oh.
Stay where you are!
What are you doing?
Was it like this for them?
For who? Red?
I think it's happening.
Huh?
Auntie, my grandmother, it's happening. No, it's too much.
Red, stop that. Come on, you're gonna hurt yourself. Jesus, cut it out. Not again, not you, not now. Help, somebody. Anybody.
I did warn you.
Gotta... No. Huh? Joey? Joey? God, I'm tired.
Oh, boy.
It's like they're reading from a playbook. Constrained, drugged, placed under observation. In a week, they'll move you to another ward. Then they'll poke you full of needles and nod thoughtfully while taking notes. Then they'll move you to a long-term care floor. Keep you drugged, fed, washed. And then, I'll watch you turn gray. I'll watch your skin weather and dry. And then, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's
I'm
all
gonna be
my
honest, I wasn't
fault.
expecting to be able to switch to Joey.
I can't blame the universe, or death, or even you. This one's on me. Maybe I deserve it, but you certainly don't. There's gotta be a way to fix this. There has to be.
Okay. Well, let's just cut back to this real quick. Oh, hey, Mom? Auntie.
Hello? Auntie? Is that you?
Oh, hey. I saved you a seat.
Where are we?
You asked too many questions. You always did. Sit down, kiddo. We've got nothing but time.
You weren't expecting this turn at all? Neither
No,
was
thanks.
Hmm.
I. One second. Just gotta double check something. Okay, cool.
Auntie,
Yeah, kiddo?
what happened to me? To us?
Don't know. Last I remember, my head hurt really bad. I tried to make it stop, but it just got worse. I might have thrown something?
You did. I was there.
Did I scream?
Yes.
I didn't hurt you, did I?
I hid in the closet.
Ah, good. Smart.
Yeah. We were possessed by this spirit called Madeline. She didn't succeed, but we ended up here. Somehow.
Oh.
That's all you can say?
Oh.
Does it really matter anymore?
I guess not. You look so young.
Well, I take care of myself.
No, that's not what I mean. When I last saw you, you were over 50, at least.
So I kept on living, huh?
You were alive, if that's what you mean.
Hospital bed. Like Mom.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was my turn. And now, I guess it's yours.
I've missed you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Why didn't you tell me?
Tell you what?
About Joey? About my family? All of it?
You were 5 years old. You could barely understand how to tie your shoes. And I thought...
I don't know a lot of 5-year-olds that can tie their shoes,
But,
actually.
Hey, you're here now, and we've got all the time in the world.
Is this where you've been all this time?
Don't know. Don't much care. The view is nice, and I don't have Joey nagging me.
Auntie, you don't seem yourself.
You don't know me at all, kiddo. In this place, I feel more like myself than anywhere I've ever been.
Auntie, is my grandmother here?
She was, but she faded away. I guess it will happen to me soon. And you. But in the meantime, let's enjoy the view.
Huh. Sure is a nice view, isn't it?
Yeah, let's just enjoy it for a while.
Auntie?
Yeah, kid?
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should leave or not yet. Give Rosa some time to think. Sure, why not?
She's still there. This place hasn't changed all that much since the last time I was here. Home sweet home.
Can I even go that far? Oh.
More technical crap.
Don't you break technical crap?
He twitched a bit, but not much else.
Hey guys.
I don't know what that is, but it can't be good.
Giant fuck off vortex.
Just an elevator shaft. Can't get out. Jesus, what the hell is going on out there?
I'm sure it's fine, right? Right? What's in here?
Empty. For now, anyway.
Alright.
Hey.
Oh.
Hello?
Okay, hold on. Before we get to any of the spooks, let's just finish exploring first.
Looks like a duty roster. No point in reading it. I'll become very familiar. I can't do... Oh, this guy. Dr. Donald Quentin, or as I like to call him, Dr. Quack.
Age 34. Height 5 feet 4 inches. Weight 118
Subject
pounds.
assaulted a police officer. Then herself.
What kind of abstract...
When restrained by a team of officers, she reacted so violently that 2 of them were hospitalized.
Oh, look at you.
It's a tray of medical stuff. Bandages, scalpels, force...
Deemed a danger to herself and others, she was sedated and brought to the subject. Exhibits the same symptoms as other members of her family. Violent behavior. Incognizant of surroundings. 4 years ago, I advised...
For the record, the audio is probably clipping over this because I have the game speed turned up a little.
The subject declined. X-rays of the skull show no abnormalities. Scans of the brain show increased activity in the parietal and occipital lobes. They're exhibiting short but regular bursts of intense energy. These findings remain consistent with what we know of her family history. It's as if she is receiving sensory input from elsewhere, and it became too much for her brain to handle. There is so much we do not know.
That guy was Lauren Blackwell's doctor when she was here. Did nothing but plug her full of drugs. I guess it's Red's turn now.
I will continue to observe and report any findings.
No reaction. No
Yay,
surprise
but I
there.
got the
Nothing to
achievement.
get through that fat head of his. It's an X-ray of Red's noggin. Just an old clock. Huh. This letter is dated several years ago.
To all staff, Donald Quentin, be advised that no patient is to be placed in Unit 2 until further notice. As you're all aware, the unit was occupied by Mr. Benjiro Hattori until his death last week. Huh, okay. The plot does
They brought Red
thicken.
in. It's just a... Looks like an old...
Where's that go? Ah, this is out here. Interesting.
Hey.
Yes,
Hi.
Hey. Are you okay, pal?
I should be okay.
You should be okay, but you're not?
I'm not like them. It should have worked.
Hello, author of the story again.
So,
Recognize your voice.
who are you?
Everyone. No one. So many thoughts. So many.
I can see why you ended up here. Look, we're gonna be neighbors for a while, so maybe you could tone down the crazy?
No, I'm not that. Just the opposite.
The folks who run this place might disagree.
It's so hard to think.
What exactly should have worked?
Everything, nothing, maybe. Regret, maybe.
You regret something?
You know nothing of regret.
I might know a thing or two. Hey, I did some research. Kinda. You're Benjiro, aren't you?
Jiro.
Yeah. Benjiro Hattori? You were the last guy to occupy this room, so I'm guessing you're him.
What do you know of me?
You ran those Grace Group meetings.
Yes. That was so long ago. How long has it been?
25 years.
25 years? Have I really spent
She's not
2
echoing
decades
anymore.
of my life in this place?
More than that,
Can you
Benjiro.
forge a sword for me?
You
Yeah.
died.
Can you forge a
You're
sword so
haunting
sharp
the
that you can
padded
cut the
room where they
water?
locked you up.
Yes, I thought as much.
You thought as much? You're saying you know you're dead?
I suspected, but I couldn't be sure.
How could you not know for sure?
Well, I've never died before, did I? My people spend so much time avoiding death that we refuse to believe it
My
when
people?
it happens.
Your people?
Yes, I'm part of a society. Some would call us vampires, but not the kind from stories.
Energy
We
vampires.
extend our own lives by consuming the positive energy from willing subjects.
Yeah,
they
sounds
die,
right.
but we live.
We ran into one of your people last year. Guy named Gavin. He killed a bunch of people. He tried to kill us. He's dead now.
I see. You must understand, I am not like my colleagues. I never liked hurting people, but I didn't want to die either. So I made a point of studying the life energy we consumed. I created the Epiphany experiment.
Oh, there's the title.
The Epiphany experiment.
I wanted to improve the lives of those I fed upon, not destroy them. Instead of removing positive energy from a subject, I increased it. I enabled them to achieve their heart's hidden desire, to create a surplus of positive energy, and I skimmed off the top.
Alright.
Let me guess. It failed.
Yes and no. It worked too well. My mind couldn't take the energy. I went a bit mad, ended up committed here, and here I am.
Well, I hope you're satisfied. Your experiment ended up killing your subjects. Even worse, their souls.
Their souls?
You made them weak. Weak enough that they got, well, soul-napped by this spook named Madeline.
I see. I did not consider that eventuality, but it does explain much.
Eh?
Come with me. I must show you something.
Okay. We're gonna look at the vortex now? Yeah, okay.
That vortex. I witnessed its formation. I did not believe what I was seeing.
Why? What is it?
Energy is siphoning through the void at an alarming rate. Something is calling it, drawing it like a beacon. Something with enormous power.
Something, huh? And what is this something?
I cannot say, but don't you recognize the location? That vortex is over.
I mean, it's
Grace
kind of hard to
Church.
tell. It's like in
Madeline.
the sky over
Yes,
New York.
If she has harnessed as much energy as you say, that is the only answer. But why would she do such a thing? What she is doing will destroy
Is Madeline going
her
one-winged
soul.
angel? It seems that way, doesn't it?
She said she wanted to stop existing. I guess this was her backup plan. Good riddance.
You don't understand.
She's gonna force herself to
This
ascend.
energy, it won't stop at just her. It will expand until it dissipates. It could destroy every soul, living or dead, within a 10-mile radius.
Of course.
That's like
it
a
will.
chunk of New
Damn it,
York.
this is my fault. Again, I set her loose. It's not enough, is it? It's not enough to destroy 3 generations of women. It's not enough to destroy half a dozen spooks. No. You gotta fry your own soul into oblivion and take the whole damn city with you. So, what do we do? Where the hell are you going?
I am leaving. I must get myself out of range.
What are you gonna do, haunt Jersey?
If I must,
What about the rest of us?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry? That's it?
That is all I can offer.
That's it?
I fear that everything I've done only makes matters worse.
Hey, get back here!
I have to
Damn
go.
it.
My people need me. Okay.
Red? It's me. Are you even in there? Are you somewhere else? You're still breathing. You're still alive. I figure somehow, maybe you can hear me. Maybe I'm wrong, but talking is all I'm good for these days, so what else can I do? You gotta wake up. Things are bad out there. Really, really bad. So bad that I'm not sure we can stop it. But we gotta try. We're the only ones who can. You understand? We. It's gotta be the both of us. Because let's face it, I'm nothing. Just a gust of wind. I don't know what to do. Just get up. Get up, and we'll fix this. Somehow, I promise. Please? Please?
Did you hear that?
No.
Auntie?
Yeah, kiddo?
Alright.
Huh.
Yeah.
Just get up.
Are you hearing that?
Get up, and we'll fix this.
That's a
I
cool
don't hear
audio
anything.
trick.
I think,
Somehow, I promise.
I really think.
Please?
You okay?
I'm fine. I'm gonna look around.
Sure, kiddo. I'm not going anywhere.
Can we convince you to
Auntie?
get up?
Yeah, kid.
Auntie, could you get up?
Why?
I thought maybe we could take a walk around this place. Maybe find a way out.
I'm fine right here.
Please, Auntie? I think you really need to get away from there.
I told you, I'm fine right here.
Please, Auntie?
I told you.
Please.
Please.
Auntie,
Sure, kiddo.
Okay, well.
it's too slick to climb.
Okay.
It's too... Auntie?
Yeah, kiddo?
Auntie, there's this ledge. I can't reach it. I could really use your help getting up there.
What's the point?
There might be a way out. Something to get us out of here.
Why would I want to do that?
I think Joey needs our help.
He doesn't deserve it.
Joey's told me stories about how he saved your life. He saved mine too.
Only after putting us in danger in the first place.
You can't blame him for that.
Just watch me.
Auntie,
Don't auntie me. Let me smoke in peace.
this isn't right. This place, we shouldn't be here.
I've never wanted to be anywhere else.
I'm dying out there. If I stay here too long, I'll die.
Is that all? Life and death are just the opposite sides of the same door.
Ugh.
Doesn't matter which side you're
Tired.
on. It's all the same.
Joey was so wrong about you.
What do you mean?
He doesn't say much about his past, but get him talking about you and he won't shut up. You should be more like Lauren, Red. Your aunt wouldn't take that from nobody. He didn't mean to, but for years he made me feel like I couldn't measure up, that I was nothing, insignificant when compared to you. But he really didn't know you, did he? You don't actually care about anything.
How could I? Joey's voice in my ear, always pushing me, following me around like a lost puppy, and all those ghosts, night after night after night. I just got numb. Then my brother died.
It's fair.
I decided I could do something good for once. Something real, something tangible. That something was raising you. So don't you dare throw that in my face.
I'm sorry, Auntie, but I can't believe that. If you really cared, you'd fight. You'd help me.
You never were this stubborn as a 5-year-old.
I grew up.
know 5-year-olds. I bet she was. Okay. Can I talk to you more?
So, are
No.
you dating anyone?
Is this really the time for this?
I have to ask this stuff. It's in the aunt manual.
No, I'm not.
Did you save anything from back then? When you lived with me?
I have some pictures, and I still have that teddy bear.
Really? Did it work?
Work?
I thought it would help prepare you.
Prepare me. How?
You know, the hat and tie.
You're kidding.
So it didn't work.
No, it didn't work.
Well, I was new at the mom game. Sue me. So how is Joey?
He's Joey.
I guess that says it all. Come on, let's move.
Alright.
This is it. Can you give me a boost up there?
Sure, I guess.
God, this game's got some really Risk of Rain
Figures
2
since I
ass
last
music.
saw you.
Or perhaps I guess Risk of Rain 2's got some really
Here.
this ass music.
Come on, I'm not leaving you here.
Fine.
Oh, so she can just huck herself up, huh? Alright. Alright. Okay. Alright, alright, alright.
Auntie, are you okay?
Nothing, it's just...
Auntie,
What?
we need to keep moving.
It hurts. Don't you feel it?
Yes, but I can't stay here, and neither can you.
Come on. Do you feel it?
Yeah, let's keep moving.
Alright, into the light.
That light, it's so beautiful. After I'd send a ghost off, I'd just sit there and stare, try to make sense out of it. Wonder what was on the other side. I suppose now I can. I'm dead out there, aren't I? Back in New York.
Yes.
Yeah, for like
I'm sorry.
many years.
I should have realized. I've had this conversation so many times. I remember now how it happened. Someone trying to take over my mind. It cracked my head open, let the universe pour through.
It's funny because that's what
I know.
Countess
It
told
happened
us
to me.
too.
A part of me escaped.
That was her
Hid
rambling.
Out there in the void, anything to get away. He brought me back.
We brought each other back.
I just gave you a boost. You didn't really need me. But of course, you never really did you?
Auntie, I think...
Yeah, I know. It's time. I know how this works. Say hi to Joey for me, huh? And tell him... You know what? Don't tell him anything. It'll drive him crazy.
Dang! That final sick burn on Joey.
Ow!
Holy Jesus! Red? Is that you?
Joey? Oh my god, my head.
You're back? You're really back?
I think so? Where am I? And what am I wearing?
Short version, you're in the loony bin. You wouldn't believe what's going on out there.
The island is pulling energy through the void. This will create a spiritual explosion that will destroy all souls within range.
Yeah? How'd you know that?
I think it's the universe pouring into my head.
What now?
Both mourn and contrition at their end. Their minds could not take the pressure. Their souls hid in the void until they died. I found my way back.
Oh, cool. So we've just got the prophets living in her head now.
You're not
Excellent.
gonna relapse, are you?
No, it's bad, but not as bad as before. I can control it. Kind of.
Well, we'll deal with that later. Can you get out of that jacket?
No.
Okay, first things first, let's get you out of here. And Red,
Yeah?
don't you dare scare me like that again.
All right. All right, yeah, we gotta...
What the hell?
That's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, hey, bud.
He's unconscious.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, thank God you're not gonna make me do each step. Before we give Red the scalpel, I do kind of want to look outside. Just want to just see what the situation's like now.
He's unconscious.
Huh. There's a theme here. Alright.
What the hell is going on? This whole building is shaking.
Starting. The effects of the void energy are taking root. The entire city has fallen unconscious. We are the only ones awake.
Time to do some crime.
Why?
We have both been to the void. We are immune to most of its effects. But we will not survive if and when the energy reaches critical mass.
Ow! Damn it!
Alright, this new ability of yours, scaring the crap out of
Yeah,
me.
it's not a great
Still,
one.
one crisis at a time. We need to get you out of here.
Okay, Rosa, can we, like, scooch?
Almost moved.
Wiggle your big toe.
Okay.
You could roll. It would be less irritating.
I can't go.
That's fun. Alright. Stab her in the foot.
I can't go.
I just want to point out, if you're in a suit like that, you wouldn't be wearing that underneath. Just as an aside. Okay, can we leave now?
It's locked tight.
Okay.
I don't want to. My arm.
Can I pick this up? Oh, hold on.
Ha! An old vent. There's no. Looks like it was part.
Okay. In we go.
No. Looks like it was part of.
What? I have to...
There's no way I'm cutting. Looks like it was part of an old.
Okay. Let's try the other side of the room.
I'm just a...
Crutch. Wheelchair. Filing cabinet. Is there more things I can cut? Is there more?
Huh. There's no pipe against
Okay,
the wall.
here we go.
Huh.
Just give me the pipe. No problem. We finally get a weapon. Took us 5 games.
I can walk. I can.
Oh, excuse me. Alright. Alright, let's go check on Buddy Boy.
The only thing I. He's unconscious. I don't need. Looks like. I'd love it.
She can rip pipes like nobody's business. I mean, perhaps she's got some of the void energy beefing her up a little. Perhaps. Okay.
The only he's on a hospital. Not from here. It's growing.
Can I call it?
Nothing. Nothing.
How much void energy is going to do it good? Maybe she just doesn't feel the frostbite. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got. So, wheelchair.
I don't need an old wheel.
Closet.
There's a key on the inside. And my clothes. Thank God. You mind?
Right. You ready?
Let's go.
Okay. Still fine. This is all still fine. There we go. You know, let's just go home.
The police.
Sleep it off.
You okay?
30 blocks. Never ran. So fast.
She's up there.
Gathering the energy within herself, trying to force her own spirit to weaken and break apart. Her spirit is strong, but her resolve is stronger.
How do we stop her?
I don't know.
Nothing like this has ever happened before. Not even the universe knows what to do.
Well, I guess we'll do what we always do, sweetheart. Improvise.
Yeah! Put on some shades. That was an obvious, like, putting on shades moment, right? Wait, no. Oh. Oh, that was the school. Okay, in we go.
Jesus, he's still here?
She can't leave, right?
Nobody can get near this building without being affected by the void energy. Nobody except us.
Ow! God damn it, that hurts. I'm sorry, Michael. He's got a piece of chalk in his pocket. It looks like he used... I'm sorry.
Sure. Okay. Upstairs?
Madeline!
You? How on earth did your mind survive? Your head must be absolutely splitting.
It's over, Madeline.
Indeed. I have wanted it to be over for a long, long time.
Hold on a second. Let's do the obvious here. Come on. You know it's gonna do it. Yeah, you're right. It's not leaving footprints. What the hell? This is one I'm allowed to do, right? Gray school roof. This is like the only one that I need to do. I don't know why it's not triggering. Come on, Joey. Aren't you gonna get annoyed? I'm just like burning daylight. Oh man, I'm not gonna get this achievement? Oh well, alright. Fine. Okay. Can we talk to her?
Madeline!
What?
Please, Madeline, you tried. You failed. Just stop before any more damage is done.
Failed? No. I admit my original plan did not proceed as I'd hoped. This is just a viable alternative.
What, mega suicide?
This is not the only alternative. We will help you find another way.
Can you really? The universe is pouring into your head. Your head is splitting from the pressure of it. So tell me, with all of this newfound knowledge, can you give me even one alternative to achieve what I need?
This is what in the biz we call a cosmic suicidal temper tantrum.
You've spent hundreds of years helping those
Megacide.
souls like them. You're really going to throw all that away?
You say that like they matter. Since
Dang.
humanity crawled out of the ocean, they began to deny death. Denied it so much that the post of bestower was created. In all that time, humanity has learned nothing. Helping their pathetic souls all this time has achieved nothing.
So you'll destroy them all.
It is a means to an end, nothing more.
Possess me again.
What?
I mean it. If it means all this stops, do it.
I have expended too much energy. Your mind would overpower me and reject me, like all the others. But the offer is appreciated.
You destroyed my family.
It was nothing personal.
You don't understand, do you? We could have supported each other. We could have been normal. You took that from us, from me.
And yet, here you are. Don't tell me you are worse off.
Absolutely,
You
we are.
survived, thrived even.
Not for much longer if you keep this up.
As I said, this is nothing personal.
We're going to stop you, Madeline.
And what makes you think that?
We've stopped others before you. We can do it again.
Others before me? Like who?
We stopped the deacon.
That mad, incorrigible soul. A man so insane with fear that he created the devil out of thin air. There are so many spirits like him. Spirits so scared and so desperate that they will do anything to escape. Your deacon would have welcomed the oblivion that I am bringing.
The Countess. My aunt killed her. I finished her off.
You forget. She was my host once. Whatever
So?
happened to her, it was her own undoing. I am through with being at the service of hosts like her. Of anyone like her.
And this is how you're doing it?
There is no other way.
I stopped Gavin. He got into my head and I forced him out.
Gavin. Yes. I sensed it when you killed him.
That was an accident.
Be that as it may, his soul was weak after he tried to feed on you. It didn't take long to overpower him. So, thank you for delivering him to me.
Whoops. Okay, now can we do it? Come on. Unless I already have that achievement? Hold on, maybe I already got it? Let's check. Before I waste any more time waltzing around here. What's it called? Snowplow. Okay. Library. No, I don't have that one. All I need to do is have Joey get mad at me. For walking around. That's all that's supposed to happen.
Joey,
Yeah?
Would it help if I got mad at you? Alright, fine. Fine. Okay, Joey, can Joey talk?
Hey!
What?
You've got to stop this. You're gonna fry every soul in this city.
I wish I could say that I feel remorse, but I am so old. I am so tired. I cannot muster the energy to even pretend to care any longer.
I said it before, Maddie, but you're insane.
I just want what every creature has. The ability to die. Can't you understand?
I mean, I understand. I can't really grow a beard.
Denied it to me. So
I wish I
am
could.
turning to the only recourse available.
It's basically the same thing.
Why here? Why not just go to the middle of the ocean and zap yourself there? Or the desert? Or the moon? Anywhere but here.
I am bound to this area thanks
For
to
2
you. And the
days.
soul energy I absorbed will only last for a limited time. I have no choice.
You always have a choice.
I have sought another way for centuries. I am sure you have asked this same question of yourself, Malone. When will this end? Well, I have the answer. It doesn't. I am finished with being at the whims of an unknowable universe. I am taking my fate into my own hands. You would do the same in my position.
Get this through your thick head. This is where it ends.
Oh, you have no idea.
We're nothing alike, Maddie. Don't even pretend to think we are.
You think you're so noble, little ghost. Wait 2 or 3 centuries, 2 or 3 millennia. Then tell me you would not do the same just to end it all.
I doubt you are millennia old.
Hey?
It has started. My spiritual form is becoming intangible, even to you. It won't be long now.
All right. Can I use the tie on you?
It won't work.
Okay.
Look, whatever she's doing, it's happening on the other side. Maybe we should take a look? It's the exit ramp out of... Believe me, I've tried.
Something doesn't feel right. No. I can't do much with it besides stand on it.
Chalk? Ah! Okay.
That won't do any good. That won't do any good according to...
Okay.
That won't do any...
Okay. Can I totem her?
Are you trying to use my own essence on me?
Yeah?
Such an action speaks of desperation. It will not be long before you will not need to worry about such things.
I don't really think... So many...
Okay, hold on. Let's go back in.
Use a bit of my essence, huh? Well, here goes.
Oh, neat.
What am I supposed to do? Once upon a time, I wondered what this thing was. After so many years and so many spooks, it's hard to care anymore.
Okay.
I can't do much with it. A stone platform. At least. I can't do much with it besides.
My tie changed. Yeah, I noticed that. Okay. I'm so irritated I'm not going to get this achievement because there's like one other screen I didn't do this on. And it's like the one screen. And I don't think Joey's going to get mad at me on this one, so it's real unfortunate. Alright. Joey, tie on Madeline. Wipe.
What is this? Oh, how cute. This place. Well, no matter.
Hey,
Oops.
you remember me. I guess I should be flattered.
Open the portal. Let me through.
You've got to be kidding.
The energy is almost at critical mass. It is going to detonate whether I am there or not.
Oh.
Oh, that's all I can say. Millions of souls will be destroyed. I need to be one of them.
We all need something. I thought I needed to move on, but I really want to see how this ends.
It will never end. I will never end. That was the whole purpose.
It was never about you. Not me, or my niece, or any of us. You see, I get it now. Why things have to be the way they are. I don't like it. but I get it.
What are you talking about? Shh.
I'm on a smoke break.
It didn't stop.
No.
Cute.
It's not going to stop.
No.
This is it, isn't it?
No. No, it isn't.
So many dead, Joey, so many.
I know.
It's never enough.
I know. But we do the best we can. We always have.
Yes, we always have.
Are those spooks?
Yes, everyone who is lost, everyone who is waiting for someone like us. No more. They don't have to wait anymore.
You're saving spooks?
It's what we do.
But how?
That vortex, it was creating a massive spiritual energy. I'm reversing it, making it pull in spiritual energy instead of pushing it out.
You can do that?
Apparently.
I can now.
You see, it's not about you or me. It's about everyone.
Oh. Well, she got to be saved, huh?
Go on.
It's time. Move on. You can do it now. Whatever stopped you from moving on before, I'm stronger.
It's not working.
What?
I said it's not working. It won't let me go.
Try it now.
I'm sorry, sweetheart, but I'm still stuck. Not even the power of the universe inside your head can help me move on. It's gone.
I'm sorry, Joey.
Forget it. So, you think everyone down there is back to normal?
Yes, everyone will wake up. They won't even know they were asleep.
Except the ones who were just
Like
on
it
the
never
floor.
happened.
Yeah.
Think all the
We should
cars
get
that
out of here.
crashed.
So, how many spooks did you manage to save anyway?
All of them. Yeah.
All of them?
Yes.
Except one.
So, are we talking all the spooks here in the city, or?
No, all ghosts. Everywhere.
Except for me.
Except for you.
That's...
I know.
Look, don't sweat it. I mean, people are still gonna die, right? There'll be more ghosts.
Eventually.
Right, so when that happens, it'll be business as usual.
I guess.
But in the meantime, we're free.
Free.
Yeah. How about a movie or something?
God, I haven't seen a movie in forever.
You and me both. Think of all the things we can do now.
Maybe I'll sleep in.
Or maybe a vacation.
Literally, people are
Yeah,
dying as you talk.
Somewhere sunny.
Huh?
I'm sorry, Joey. I thought you'd be gone. I really hoped you'd be gone. I didn't want you to see this.
Red?
It hurts, Joey. It's everything. It's pouring into my head. It's not a metaphor and it's not stopping. I can't hold it.
You gotta try.
No. It's like trying to swallow the ocean. Sooner or later, you're going to drown.
No, not after what you just did. Not after everything we've done. You can't just...
What? Die? I don't think I have a choice.
No. This isn't fair. This isn't right. You just saved the whole damn city. You saved me.
I knew the cost. I paid it. It was worth it, wasn't it?
Sure. Of course it was.
I see them. My parents, Joey, I see them.
No, stay away from them. It's not time yet.
Joey, please.
Okay. But before you go, I'll make you one promise. No matter how long I'm around, no matter how many hosts I see die, I'm not gonna turn into Madeline. Ever. Not if I'm a spook for 1,000,000 years. I'll be a good spirit guide. Do what needs to be done. Forever if need be.
No, Joey, you won't.
Sorry?
What the... What did you... How? Red? Sweetheart? Rosa? Why the hell did you do this? Here. Go on, take it. Take it. Just... I don't see him anymore. I've tried, I've looked. There was this pileup on the West Side Highway last week, and now people say they hear crying. So I went over there. I didn't hear or see anything. I'm normal. Listen to me, talking to myself on the street. I call myself normal. Yeah, I know. Ironic, huh? Or at least I think that's irony. You could tell me, if you were here. I'm forgetting things. About being, I can't even say it. It's almost as if, now that I'm alive, I can't think about being dead. I guess that's hardwired into everybody. Turns out I'm just like everyone else in the end. But I get it now. I like being alive. Is that so wrong? Is that what I'm supposed to get from all this? That life is worth living? I guess I gotta get out there and find out for myself. Goodbye, Rosa Blackwell.
We're bookending.
But I know I'll see you again someday. But until then, I'll try to make this count. Okay? Okay.
Oh, hey, I got the deception done. Didn't expect that. I didn't get that walking around one, which bugs me. I actually appreciate that he kind of styled everyone, like the actors that portrayed them. Most of them actually have a similarity to their avatars. I appreciate that. Well, most of them. Ray was an underutilized character. There should have been more Ray. No picture for Stephen Kelly?
The depths I can't climb from. I'm sinking down. I'm sick.
Oh, that's fun. All the cafes we've worked in over the years. That's a lot of Starbucks. Jesus.
I close my eyes and sleep.
Oh, that's cute. There's an achievement for if you do under so many steps, for the record. That one basically requires you to play the entire game as Joey.
It's all I can
I'm letting the song play out. I feel like I owe that much to the game. Ooh, harmony section. Now go for the good ending where you let New York get zapped, thus heralding the downfall of the modern empire. Sure. The libertarian ending. I like how there's 70.2% of people that do Legacy, which is solving Peter's mystery, and then 69.6% people that complete the game. So there's a, like, almost 1% of people just don't get there. Alright. Oh, there's another achievement for, when the cops interview you, I believe. And you just don't say anything literally at all. Guides. Come on, game, you can do it. Not talking during the interrogation. I wonder if can I do that one real quick? Do I have a save game around there? When was I interviewed by the cops? This one? Let's just see. Was it after this one? Or was it after the Golden Girl? Let's see. Interview. Heather Case, Grace Church, Grace School. Okay, so here's the flashback. This is before Golden Girl? Okay. I don't know if I have a save game for that. It was after, it was like, is there not chapter select? Of course there isn't. So... Talk to detective. Pick up note, return to police station. Bullpen in Pierre's desk. Enter the office. Exit her house. Emil's house. Pierre's house. Use tie on lady. Second flashback. When the hell did we get interviewed for the cops? Like, it's definitely when, like, what's-her-face kills herself, right? It's right after the murder-suicide. Yeah. Okay. I think it's right after this cutscene. I think we just gotta do this.
I there. So, that gal. No.
Well, but you. What?
Now, you sure?
Malone, I will
take.
Yeah.
So Garish.
I cannot. Like most.
Can I talk to him, please?
Malone.
I there.
No. All right.
I will
So
take
this one was Jocelyn,
Why
right?
would I want that? Huh, Danny?
Okay. Now talk to dead guy.
Hey, so, come on. Right. But what? Well,
Sure.
no point.
And then switch back to Madeline.
Malone.
I there.
I could.
What? Ow.
I could leave, but I don't believe you will. Well,
Who the hell?
we are here to help. You are.
There we go.
Why?
It does.
Life you said dead. He got away.
But my hope.
I don't know. You think it would? Right.
Yeah.
Well, and
My hope. My host.
I knew you could. Well, you just try it what differently.
Meant you.
I'm going dancing.
I see. I suppose after all this time it was in. Do you hear?
Yeah, God, the audio spike on that. Okay, so I believe now we're gonna be. Here we go. Okay. So I'm hoping this is just gonna tick.
Fine. And I well did not. No, and we know about a pull. Let the if I, who pump Sam? It's I don't think. So.
Am I?
Okay, so
What do you?
can I just like skip through all this now?
Everything.
And it. From now.
There we go.
Detective Durkin.
That was easy enough
Sam,
one to get.
Why are you doing this? Why me?
My first. There was the.
Whew, good thing I had a save game there. That would have been frustrating.
you just.
No.
Alright, options. Okay, we can quit now. Okay, well. All the other achievements are just like, I'm not gonna bother. I'm a bit bummed out about the not getting the snowplow one, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay. That went from 0 to all ghosts pretty quickly. Yeah. Gosh. Alright, so that is the end of the Blackwell Epiphany, and an end to the Blackwell series. Gosh, what to even say about it, you know? After putting in 30 some odd hours into the game, it's... Okay, well let's start with Epiphany. And get the thoughts of Epiphany on its own out of the way. Wasn't a fan of the new dialogue structure, like having the box in the middle of the screen. That just, I don't know why that decision was made. Kind of bugged me. I don't know why it bugged me, but it did. I think perhaps just because there were so many more options to talk. Like, you sometimes get like 6-7 options. And the previous methods probably restricted it to the number of like lines you could put in. There was a bit more like video game logic required in this one, as opposed to the previous ones. like a little more pixel hunting, a little more abstract application of stuff, a little more Monkey Islanding, which is unfortunate. It happens with adventure games, but you know, Moon Logic or whatever, it's just unfortunate. But aside from those, I think this game did a very good job of making Rosa and Joey work together. Which, I mean, as a meta narrative, I appreciate in that Rosa and Joey get better at working together. And so they actually work more together as a team to solve problems. Every game had some BS, but this one hit its stride in terms of BS, yeah. So I don't know if that was an intentional kind of meta narrative to put to the game or not. But, like, there was definitely way more, like, Joey and Rosa working together. A lot more heavy lifting of Joey, in fact, in this game than in previous installments. Which is interesting. It adds, like, a whole extra facet. And I actually found Rosa a little more useless in this one. This game was much more about Joey than anything else. The actual story is a little wild. It's a little bit of a bummer that the Blackwell Deception, was that the fourth one? Set up this whole like big bad with like the head commissioner or whatever being a vampire, an energy vampire thing, because Gavin was talking to her on the phone or whatever, and they just dropped that storyline. Like, that just gets dropped. It's mentioned at the end in passing with Benjiro. It's been like, oh yeah, energy vampires, those are a thing. Like, it feels like a weird bait and switch that like they set up this big bad and then don't use it. Instead, swap to Madeline being the big bad. I do want to say I feel like we kind of cold called Madeline being a bad guy when we were first introduced to her. Like that, I feel like we managed to call out one from like way downtown, which is nice. I wish there had been more stuff about Countess. I actually really enjoyed her as a character, even though she was on screen for all of like 10 minutes. Well, as Countess and not the Countess. I wish we had explored a little bit more with her instead of her just being this like side thing. It's disappointing, but it feels like Madeline fits a better way to tie things up. For sure, yeah. No, I totally get using Madeline in the way that they did to have like this big existential energy A-bomb kind of thing. It's just unfortunate that this cool thread was set up at the end of the previous one, and that was just dropped. Like, it's always unfortunate when you see games, TV shows, comics, whatever, books, have this thread set up and then just not kind of pull on it. Instead of just being like, actually, no, I can't figure out how to use that effectively, so we're just gonna stop talking about it, and eventually, hopefully, people forget. Like, yeah, alright. I know a lot about setting up plot threads you think are cool, but they're not satisfying to complete. Yeah, no, I get it. They can't all pay off, you know? They can't, it just doesn't work that way. Excuse me. The storyline in this one was a hell of a lot darker than the previous ones. Like, by magnitudes darker. Like, we had a dead kid that was murdered by her mom. Hey, King Cosmotron. You missed the end of the game. Just kind of reflecting upon it now. So yeah, like, this game was like magnitudes darker. I mean, she had dead kid killed by her mom, whose soul got torn asunder, along with some other people's souls, which are just wild. Like, so they just cease to exist. They're nothing now, which is unfortunate, to say the least. You have a ghost that wants to live, and if it can't live by occupying a person, if it's any consolation, it was getting laid. I mean, I guess. I mean, I would have preferred you here, boosting my viewership numbers, but I mean, I guess having sex is fine, or whatever. But it's not clear that there's an afterlife, but there's more of an afterlife of what those souls got. Yes, yeah, those souls got nothing. Those souls got unmade. So whatever happens after, they don't get that. So yeah, overall, like, I mean, the storyline, it's a little bit wild, and it's a little, the whole, like, universe in her head, offing, like, eventually being her undoing thing was, like, okay. It felt a little kind of, all of a sudden, a little legitimately Deus Ex Machina. Since there's basically no explanation for that until Madeline kind of spoon feeds us it in the last act. So, I guess one of my big kind of issues with the plot, such that it is there's a lot of really cool stuff that happened in this last episode, plot development wise, that there wasn't enough setup for in the previous games, which makes sense because I doubt the developer thought they were going to get here when they started in like 2006, right? I get it. It takes a hell of a lot of planning to plan out 5 goddamn games to have that kind of massive arc. So I get it. It's unfortunate, but I get it. But overall, I did enjoy it. I liked that the stakes of this one were immediately higher than previous ones. Like, you never really felt in danger in the previous games, all things considered, which was not how Epiphany kind of set the stage, because someone dies pretty quick right beside you, and ghosts start getting torn asunder. So you're like, it's a whole thing, right? Like, it's a whole different ballgame, which I appreciated. And I think on that note, it did execute that pretty well. Like, the stakes were appropriately high, the costs were appropriately high. So, like, other than a couple weird kind of plot beat hiccups, or just preferences, really, I guess, of like, I wish there was more contests, I wish there was a little more setup. But overall, I think it executes itself. And like, from a mechanics point, I think it's a good adventure game. Like I said, a little bit of pixel hunting, a little bit of moon logic, but overall, pretty good game. I liked most of the characters. Just the characters actually in this one felt a little more human than in previous installments, where they felt very, very characterized. They felt better in this one. They felt more like people, a little bit, which was nice. I actually really appreciated the Heather Tanya ghost mystery specifically as something to highlight in this game. I didn't see that twist coming with how it was going to resolve itself. I thought that was really neat. And again, kind of, I don't want to say darker, but like, this person hated their past so much that it actually created a separate ghost for said past, because they just wanted it dead. It's really sad, actually. Really sad. But I appreciated just that whole thing and the resolution of it. So like, real big kudos. Real big kudos for that. I think it's a decent ending to the game. I kind of wish we got to see a little bit more of Joey, but I get why we didn't, because like he's got to get busy living now, right? That is the final gift, is he gets to live out his life now, and we don't get to see that because we're literally not privy to it, right? It's not the point. So Joey gets to like ride off into the sunset, and we never get to find out what happens to him, which, I mean, from a practical standpoint, would be a really, really interesting thing, because he does not have a SIN number or identification or like anything. So I hope Joey's okay. Yeah. He did have those things. Yeah, but trying to use them now is going to be... It's going to bring up some questions that he is not going to be able to answer. Yeah. I also appreciated the book ending with the ashes. It's a small thing, but I appreciated it. I got better. Also, I haven't aged in 84 years, give or take. So yeah, overall, Epiphany, good game. Just, it's a good solid adventure game, and a good ending to the series. Now, I guess, thoughts on the series as a whole? I gotta think about like 30 some odd hours of this game. Like I said, I wish the games had more of a continuity line kind of flowing through them. That didn't really start to happen until about Game 3. Like Game 1 and Game 2 just felt kind of like, I'll just make a second one with this character, woo! It wasn't until number 3 where I'm feeling the developers like, you know what, actually, I kind of got something here. And you start to see bits of it kind of come together, because like number 3 is where Madeline gets introduced, I think. Is that right? 2 is the flashback game, yes. Which has the Countess, which is another character that I like. Again, I wish we had seen more of the Countess/Countess's timeline. Like, I think it would have been interesting to see how the Countess became the Countess specifically. Like, she lost her marbles, obviously, but like, I wish that had been explored a little bit more. Yeah. I think they're decent adventure games. Like, I should say, like, start to finish, all of them, good games. It's a good anthology. I would recommend them to anybody who likes adventure games. It's a good, solid 5-game series that don't really have any clunkers. Right, like, that's kind of an important thing to hear, is like, none of them sucked, which is good. They were all fine or better, which, when you're talking about 5 games in a series, that doesn't generally happen. So you're saying, I wonder in a series like this, how far in advance certain things are planned? Yeah, that's just it. I mean, I could play all the games with commentary, because there are commentary tracks for literally every one of the games by the developer. So I might be able to get those answers. It's possible. I don't know if he talks about it or not. But I doubt Madeline was the big bad. Was planned as the big bad in the first or second game. I mean, hell, they bring Madeline up in the third one, but like in the fourth one, it's this other thing. So I don't know what happened there. It's like they made Madeline and then dropped it, and they made this other thing and then dropped that and went back to Madeline. So I don't know. I think by 4 it was set though. Maybe. I don't know. So yeah, they're all good solid games. I do actually kind of appreciate that the 5th game also had, like, you got emails from people, from characters that didn't exist anymore. Like, in the game, like, your neighbor and stuff that went, like, on a world tour, and you get kind of updates from old things that you've dealt with, including restraining orders. Like, I thought that was actually nice, way of, like, tying all the games together. I liked the introduction of the phone as kind of the all-in-one, so you don't have to keep going back to your home to Google stuff and then go back out. I appreciate that being a step in the mechanical evolution of these games. And it's a step that made sense, too, right? Like, in the first one, you have a notebook, because it's, like, early. And actually, well, the first one had a computer, but that was about it. It didn't have all the features of the computer. The second one, it's the 70s. You have a notebook. And the third one, you can start to Google stuff. And then, like, in the fourth one, the fifth one, you have your actual mobile phone. Like, I actually appreciated the technical evolution through the games. I thought that was really good. I also think being able to, like, the fact that you have to, like, search things up, I actually think is very good. I love that you have to actually, like, Google some stuff. I'm less a fan of the combining notes thing. I get why that exists, but it's just, it doesn't do anything for me, personally. It's the equivalent of having to combine 2 random items in your inventory to make a new thing to solve that one weird puzzle. Right? Except in words instead of pictures. I appreciated the evolution of the character designs and the kind of pixel artwork that, you know, started with the game and, you know, worked its way forward. I like that. Music, pretty much banging from the entire game. Music, like, start to finish, top notch. I think the music fit all of these games extremely well. Extremely well. I think they fit the scenes that they were used in. Like, I loved all the intro songs, all that. Music, A+, 100%. Perfect. Chef's kiss. Mwah. Most of the voice acting, very good. It got better as the series progressed, as people got better equipment, obviously, and were better at actually doing audio bouncing and stuff like that. Which is, like, a weird nitpicky thing to say, like, these are indie games, you kind of get who you can get, especially in the earlier, like, iterations of these games, like, you get who you can get to voice these characters, right? So I'm glad the voice acting improved over time. And I know I'm being a little shit by bringing it up, but, like, yeah, it was alright. It got better. In terms of characters, I really liked Rosangela as a character. Especially I liked how she just grew as a human throughout the series. Like, she became more confident in her ability. She became, hell, almost brash by the end. I really appreciated her arc. And the fact that, like, even going into it, she always kind of wondered, like, is this gonna happen to me? This thing that happened to my grandmother and my aunt, like, is this gonna happen to me too? And kind of, it's not that she necessarily embraced that fact, but she knew it was a thing, and so she was just, like, once she found out, it's like, oh, I've got to save ghosts, alright, well, let's get on it, because she was going to make something with her time, which I can really appreciate. And shout out to Lauren, the aunt, from game 2. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic protagonist. I loved everything about Lauren. And I feel like they kind of did her a little dirty in the fifth one there. Like making her all super lethargic and apathetic and stuff. It didn't feel like a good send off for probably my favorite character in the series. But that's me, you know. Joey, I'm glad they stopped making Joey gross, or pared it back, or got Joey to be less gross, and when he was flirty, it was flirty in a way that kind of actually worked. Like he had ghosts that reciprocated to it, and he wasn't gross flirty. So I don't know if that was a planned thing. Like as the games progressed, Joey got less gross, or it was just like, I don't really want to make this character as gross as he was when I made the first game. I don't know which. I think Joey's a very interesting character. I kind of wish we had gotten more Joey history, because like we get some of the stuff when you play as Lauren, and then you don't really get a lot until like Epiphany, where you're like, oh, here's where Joey came from, and also here's some other stuff, and da 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 da. So I wish there had been more of a fleshing out of Joey's past, because I think that would have made more sympathetic to him. Because like quite frankly, I was never Team Joey, even in the end. He did not grow on me as a character that perhaps the developer was hoping. I never found Joey to be all that sympathetic. And I don't know if I was supposed to or not, but that I definitely didn't. And I think that's because he was kind of too much of a caricature for too long in the game before they tried to give him depth. But Madeline, again, another one. Like, I kind of wish we knew more about Madeline. We see her with one host, and then in the void for a bit, and then super bad, right? And I wish we got a little bit more of her. Like, I think it would have been interesting to have a flashback to like when she first became, you know, a guide. I think that would have just been really interesting for historical context. You know, place her in a time. She talked about like doing this for a few millennia or whatever. It's like she's wearing regalia from, I don't know, it looked like the 1700s. So like, I think it would have been interesting just to get a little more history on Madeline, even if it's something you had to like research as like an Easter egg. It's only a few hundred years, yeah. I think that just would have been interesting to get a little more history about her. Perhaps that would have helped given her motivation a little bit more. Also, her just going from like, I'm gonna become human to I'm gonna megacide felt a little jarring. Like that's a real hard, like, whiplash reaction. And she's been thinking about this for a long time. She's doing all this careful planning for her to just be like, well, if I can't do A, then I'm gonna do Z. Felt a little out of character for her, which is unfortunate. Oh yeah, and there's another thread line that I never understood, and it was never explained to my knowledge, which is in, which is the one with the bar, Ventini's or whatever, and Mr. Gould. Anyways, there's a guy who dies, the actor who dies in the movie, like during the movie production. Is that the second one? Where he dies making the movie? Anyways, when the guy who dies in the movie, and we find him in the park, and we have to like recite lines, we do the whole like he gets possessed by Mr. Gould, right? Like that's obviously what happens to him because he kind of gets a weird Gouldy face, and he's talking like him with the all caps, and that is never explained, never ever explained. I almost want to replay the game with commentary because I hope that the guy or the developer would talk about that, because I have no idea what happened there. I know, again, another thread that just kind of got dropped. It was very unfortunate. What else? I don't know what else to say about these games. Covered characters, covered direction, covered music, covered mechanics, covered some of my gripes, the things I liked about it. I will say the writing definitely progressed. For, like, comparing the writing from like the first one to the last one, there's obvious marked improvements, both with the complexity of the stories as well as the characters themselves and their writing. Like, real hat tip, there's like a noted improvement along the line as we go. And I think it's worth pointing that out and celebrating that. Did a good job. Yeah. I don't know. I wish there were more people in chat to ask me questions. Because, yeah. That we are done with the Blackwell games. It's so weird. Like, I've been doing this for 11 weeks now? 12 weeks? It's a long time to play such an expansive set of stories. Like, they're only little, and yet so much happens. Give the series a score out of 100. Okay. I mean, hold on. Why don't we go through and rank the individual games first, and then we can kind of sum it all up. So, if you're wrong, we'll yell at you. Epiphany, I think, is probably a solid like 7 out of 10 as far as like an adventure game goes. Even just as a game, I think it's solid 7 out of 10. It's got a couple frustrating little mechanical moments. It's got one or two very dramatic plot twists that it doesn't quite support itself in delivering, but overall, I think it's a pretty good game. Let's just have a look at the rest of it. So, Blackwell Legacy, the introductory game. I think it was very much the first game in the series. It had some problems. But it didn't suck. So Legacy probably gets like a 6 out of 10. What came next? September 6th, September 16th. Blackwell Unbound, yeah. Blackwell Unbound is actually maybe my favorite. Just because it features Lauren. I think Lauren and Joey's relationship was very good. Given that like we're kind of like smash cut into their relationship, I think their back and forth is very, very good. I think that was very, very good. Also featured some very good music. Did feature one of the worst voice acting moments, which was that guy who ran the record store. That was very bad. But overall, Unbound probably gets like an 8 out of 10 for me. I think it's the best one in the series in terms of kind of everything that happens. It also has like a big showdown with the Countess. Oh no, Miko Lane. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh. Is it over? Yes, it is. I am so sorry. I'm just talking about it now. I was ranking the games, actually, because Pokemon Freak had told me to rank the entire series out of 100, so I thought I'd start by just going through the games themselves. So, how was it? It was good. It was good. Like I said, I have a couple small gripes about the game kind of falling under itself, under the weight of its own kind of ambition with the story a tiny bit. But I still think it was very good. And I'm gonna be honest, was pretty caught out of left field with a plot twist or two there. I was agape. So, you know, there is that. So like I'll give it the credit it's due. It did yeah. So after Unbound comes, I believe, Convergence. Yeah. So Convergence. Okay, so sorry, Convergence was the one that had Gould. Convergence was actually one of the first times where we really started to have to use Joey for a lot of stuff. Which I thought was, it was very much a difference. Like, in the previous games, you had Joey, you kind of used Joey as a token thing in 1 or 2 puzzles. In Convergence, it really starts to be like, oh no, Joey's part of your team, you gotta use him for some stuff. And there's like very specific, like, this is a Joey puzzle now. Do the Joey thing. So whilst a little clunky, I think it was a good change in the mechanics. I also like that it had the Countess, like resolving the Countess line of things. Again, I wish there had been more work done with the Countess and Madeline, as they're totally connected. And I wish the Countess had talked more about Madeline, because that could have set a lot of stuff up. I think that would, even if she didn't refer to her by name, I think there could have been a lot more done there to kind of drive future plot points. But overall, I thought Convergence was fine. It gets a little convoluted in the middle, but does also feature that artist with the death, which is very unfortunate. So I'm gonna give Convergence probably 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, something like that. Deception, I thought was actually pretty good. I got to get a baby to walk into a door, which was way funnier than it should have been. There's also a step up in the art within Deception. And also featured some fun puzzles, like being able to solve, you have to light the thing up with your glow-in-the-dark card. I think that's really good. It also featured Joey getting his flirt on with a ghost, and it in a not supremely creepy way. He actually kind of liked the ghost, which I thought was interesting. That's the first time you get to see any part of Joey's kind of caricature fall down, and you get to start to see actual Joey. And I really wish they'd done more with that throughout the series. But other than that, you don't really get a lot of that. You don't get a lot of unguarded Joey, which I think is a real shame. Like I said, I was never Team Joey. I never really got all that sympathetic with Joey, which I think is a goddamn shame. Deception also introduced the energy vampires, and then, kind of dropped the energy vampires thing. So we had a whole setup, and then that was never executed on, so that's unfortunate. But Deception probably gets a 7 out of 10. It was pretty good. And then, then we've got Epiphany. What vampire? The energy vampires, Gavin. Benjiro talks about it. I guess, I mean, also the medium woman, and yeah, that whole thing. They set up a big conspiracy and then didn't execute on it, which is frustrating. Did I not clip the baby bonk? I can't find it. Could I make it? I don't know if I can still make that, actually. It might be off Twitch by now. Let's have a really quick look, shall we? Let's see. Video producer. Let's see. Nope. No, definitely far gone. I could manually make the clip. Like I have the recording of it, so I could, if I want to, go back and do it. So nope, sorry, no clip for that, I don't think. Unless somebody else clipped it? I don't know. Clips. All videos. No. I never really know how to find my own stuff. I don't do a lot of admin Twitch stuff. Yeah, it's not there. Oh well, sorry. And Epiphany, yeah, Epiphany again, very good. Like 7.5, 8 out of 10. It kind of collapses under itself, and I'm sad that it didn't kind of tie up the vampire clip stuff, the way, or the energy vampire stuff the way that I wanted it to. But had some pretty solid plot twists. It had a much more, I don't want to say adult plotline because that's garbage, but it went a lot darker, and it was okay with doing so. And it didn't go darker just for the sake of it. It definitely set stakes higher, and like made sure you understand that, like, oh, we're in danger now, which was not really a thing it felt in the original ones. And we literally got attacked by the Countess like twice in the second game. That was a good clip. I don't even have to watch that one. I know how good one that is. So yeah, like, now the series overall, out of 100. Honestly, it's probably sitting somewhere around like 80. Plus or minus 5. It would probably depend on the day that you ask me. I think like I said, there are no bad games in this series. Like that's it. Like all the games are fine or better. Which for a 5-game series is impressive. I think they all, like, each of the games can stand up on their own. And whilst I wish that there was more threading of storyline between them all, overall I think the entire series, yeah, probably sits somewhere around an 80. It's a decent play. If someone wanted to play adventure games, like, hey, I'm looking for some new adventure games, I would suggest the Blackwell games. They'll get, you know, give or take 30 hours of playtime out of this series. That's not too shabby for a bunch of, like, independently made adventure games. So can I just say Elaine? Is it Miko? Elaine? Miko? Did you have any questions for me? I'm sorry you missed it. I am so sorry. But you don't, no questions for me at all, huh? Okay, fair enough. That ending, that final act took longer than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I can fire up Sam Max for like 2 minutes if you want to see it, but yeah, we're gonna have to save that for next week. But I actually think I am going to inject that spooky game first. I'm gonna do the scary way. It's gonna be October. We gotta do the scary stuff, right? You're gonna miss it. Miss what, Sam Max? What? Hey, there's always the VODs. You can always watch the VODs. Megalyn, I do apologize that you couldn't make it. I was wondering if you're gonna make it for tonight, but yeah, I am sorry. Not your fault. No, I know you're in Australia. You've got a kid, as I recall. You know, things happen. I was hoping my baby sleep. Yeah, my wife has been kind of stuck with our baby, who is very bad at falling asleep on their own. So I understand. I understand completely. You have my sympathies. I can empathize. But yeah, like, he wouldn't sleep longer than 30 minutes. I'm not that. Yep, that sounds about right. You love it? No, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. But also at the same time, it sure would be nice to not have to be holding them constantly while they sleep in order to, you know, move on. But yeah, overall, like, this has been a fun 11 or so weeks playing through this series. And I mean, I'm absolutely going to be looking at other Wadget games now. In fact, I know I have at least one of them somewhere in here. Oh, maybe I have it on GOG, actually. No, Shardlight. Shardlight's one of theirs. So I've got Shardlight. I'm pretty sure I've got another one of theirs on GOG. Can't remember. Anyways, like, I am for sure gonna end up playing more of their games. One, because I literally play adventure games every Tuesday. Shardlight, yes. Shardlight. Like, I have 23 games in my adventure column, but like, of that I haven't completed. I should say. But yeah, like, I know I'm gonna come across more of theirs because there aren't actually a lot of people making adventure games that I have found. And Watchet's made a bunch, or Watchet I. So we'll be back. We'll be back in their overarching universe at some point. But yeah. So weird to come to the end of this after like so much time put into it, into that universe. But time well spent, in my opinion. Time well spent. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here tonight. It is already a little past midnight. And yeah. Oh yeah, like, I really enjoyed the series, so congrats on finishing it. Yeah, I will say this series has been good enough that I'm sad to see the back end of it. Like, some games I just finish, and it's just like, yep, okay, I have finished that game, let us move on. Right? Like, I do that with a bunch of the indie games that I play, and like, not to disparage them, but I'm just like, yes, I've played that game, it was fine, I'm moving on now. Even games that I spent a lot of time in, like Deus Ex, I played through that whole series. It took, 30-ish hours as well. And when I got to the end of it, I was just like, cool. All right. Yeah, that sure was a game. Exactly that Pokemon Freak. I'm like, yeah, that sure was a game. Yeah. Yeah. Was it a good game? Yeah, it was a good game. Yeah. But like, didn't leave any lasting impression on me, like, at all. But Blackwell, I'm like, a good book. I'm sad to see the end of the series. Yeah, like, that's the sign of a good game and a good series, regardless of, whether it's a game or a book or a, I don't know, movie, a TV show, or any kind of I think when you're sad to see the tail end of it, that is a game, you know, or a piece of work, I guess I'll say, just to be more generic. That's a piece of work that, you know, has had an effect on you. It's made an effect, right? And Blackwell is that for me. I think these games will stick with me. I will think about these once in a while, you know. And I'm really glad I got to play them. Quite frankly, I'm really glad that like not a year ago. What am I saying? I haven't been doing this for a year. Jesus pleases. What is time? Time isn't a thing. Back in like, I guess March, Miko Lane like saw me playing another adventure game. I can't remember which one it was. It was possibly Kathy Rain. Or it was one of the Watch It games, I'm almost certain. Came in and said, like, do you have other adventure games? And I happened to mention Blackwell. And Miko Lane was like, oh, which ones? Which one have you played? And I was like, oh, I have this one. And it's like, there's 5. I'm like, wait, there's 5? Technobabylon? That's not a game that I have. I don't know where you keep getting Technobabylon from. It was called... Hold on. I'm scrolling. I need to recategorize stuff. My completed can't just be completed. I think I have to actually say completed adventure games. Whispers of a Machine. There you go. So I was either Whispers of a Machine or Kathy Rain. And Miko Lane showed up and was like, oh, you like adventure games? Have you heard of Blackwell? And like, I wouldn't have played these had Miko Lane not mentioned it. So like, I will say personally, Miko Lane, thank you for telling me about all of these games. I'm so glad I got the opportunity to play them, because I don't know, had you not mentioned them, if I would have gotten to them, let alone know that there was 5, because I don't even think I had Legacy. I think I had like Unbound or Deception. I just had like the one game. And I wouldn't have known any different, right? So like, Starcom Nexus was only 8 months ago. I know. It's been the longest year. So yeah, like I'm really glad I got the opportunity to play these. This is kind of the thing that I wanted, like when I'm streaming and I'm playing these games. Like this is the kind of feeling I want when I finish these games, because that means I played a good game, or I played a game that I thought was good. Those aren't necessarily the same thing. But yeah, that's why I like playing games, is to get this kind of a feeling. Much like reading all my dorky ass fantasy books that I have off screen on in my bookshelf. Just, you can't see it. I'm pointing. You can't even see me. I'm over this way, that way. And like that's the feeling I look for. I look for that kind of the satisfaction of finishing the book or whatever, and feeling sad because it's done, right? Because that means it affected me, and I'm dance like an Egyptian. Yeah, fair enough. Just show off the guns, or this one sparks joy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Marie Kondo kind of feeling upon finishing the game. Did the game spark joy? And it, yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's what I have to say about Blackwell. Like, I really enjoyed my time in the Blackwell universe. And I don't really know what more of an endorsement I could give to these games. They're not perfect, right? They got some janky puzzles at times. They got some janky voice acting at times. They got some plot threads that don't get pulled all the way to the end, and some, like, they're not perfect. But overall, I think most of the characters and the overall stories and just the general universe does enough to like really to make you enjoy it, and that should be enough, I think. Oh God, Rosa wakes up in the insane asylum, and it was all a dream. Yeah, real Joey, but Joey's actually just like an orderly or something like that, and she's projected this whole character on them. Ugh. Yes, I'm glad it's not that. I'm glad it's not that. Yeah, that is gonna that's gonna do it for me tonight, and that's gonna do it for the Blackwell series. So, I know I said I was gonna do Sam Max next, and it is definitely on the list to do, but I am first going to do Scarlet Hollow, which is the episode 1 of, I don't know how many chapters it's going to be, because they're kickstarting the further chapters. But the first one is free, and it's got artwork by Abby Howard, who I'm a huge fan of, and just as an aside, an absolutely wonderful person if you ever get the chance to meet them, as I did at TCAF once. The prog rock band? No. Yeah, so like I'm super stoked to try that out. And it's October, so it's a spooky game, so we could do a spooky game for Spooky October or whatever the hell. But then, and from what they say, that chapter takes about an hour and a half. So I should be able to do that and then start Sam & Max. And given I used to play Sam & Max like once a week as a kid, I'm hoping a lot of muscle memory is gonna kick in, and I will probably blaze through Sam & Max in like maybe 3 hours. I only went to TCAF once before missing literally every other one, but I met Dave Kellett, which was fun. I don't know who Dave Kellett is. I'm sorry. You'd have to tell me what they've done. Yeah, I've managed to meet a couple web cartoonists and stuff from TCAF. Oh, Sheldon Drive artist. Okay, yeah, I've got to meet the author of Questionable Content and Foul Language, and I mean Abby Howard, who's done all kinds of stuff. And yeah, TCAF's great. I love actually getting to meet artists of stuff that I read, because it's just nice. And then I met one or two, and I met them, and they were really gross and scary, and I stopped reading their webcomic as a result. So hey, you know, maybe don't meet all your heroes. But yes. So tomorrow will be more indie games. No, that's a lie. Tomorrow is going to be Moonbase. Friday's going to be more of Everspace, because we're going to do all the side questy stuff. It's a shame it'll never happen again. We'll see. We might luck out. And hopefully all the artists won't die, and the world can go back to some semblance of normal. But I doubt it. And then Monday, hopefully we'll be back to Multifactory. And then Tuesday, so next Tuesday, yeah, we will go through Scarlet Hollow and then start Sam & Max Hit the Road. I promise we're going to do Sam & Max. I wish they'd remaster Sam & Max Hit the Road. They've remastered Day of the Tentacle and they remastered Full Throttle, both of which I have played on my own, and I can actually do both of those games in, I think, an hour and a half each, if I skip most of the dialogue. Actually, no, that's not true. I can get through Full Throttle if I skip all the dialogue in about 30 minutes. I can speed run Full Throttle, which is hilarious. But yeah, so more adventure games next Tuesday. But yeah, tomorrow will be Moonbase, Friday will be Everspace, and I might actually do something on Saturday, because Saturday's going to be my birthday, so I might do a little birthday stream. We'll see. We'll see if I actually feel like doing that on my birthday or not. But yeah. In any case, I'm going to call it there tonight. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to Watch It Games for making the Blackwell series. And yeah, until next time, I'll just say, you know, stay safe, have fun, wear your goddamn mask, and I'll see you next time.